everyone, thanks so much for joining me. This is Brandy Oswald and we're here today for a soothing yoga flow practice. We're going to be moving through a really gentle, soothing flow today that's great for when you first wake up in the morning to get the body moving and to tap into the breath, and even just before bed to allow us to wind down, to relax, and to find that soothing state of mind, body, and soul before going to bed in the evening. So you can decide when this practice feels best for you, but this isn't a practice where we're going to sweat a lot or really work our muscles hard, but instead we're going to relax and find that really soothing quality to the breath and to the body. And so if you want, you're more than welcome to grab some props to have with you, some blocks or some things to prop up on, maybe some pillows and some blankets, whatever would feel really soothing for you as you move into a grounded practice. We're going to work with some breath techniques, but we'll also be doing just a few standing flows before we come down into longer hold postures. Just getting us loose and warmed up just a little bit before we come into those soothing, relaxing postures. So when you're ready, I'll have you find a comfortable seat. You can sit cross-legged or back on your shins, whatever feels comfortable, and we'll just let the eyes come to close. And from here, we'll turn the awareness into our breath, inhaling through the nose, and exhaling through the nose. Finding that nice, long, even inhale and exhale. The goal here is to let the inhalation be just as long and slow as the exhalation. Not forcing the breath, but letting it flow in and out. And as you do so, really allowing the breath to deepen. The inhalation filling the belly, the ribs, and the chest, expanding. And the exhalation contracting, gently emptying out the body. And really moving into this rhythm, this flow of the breath as we begin our practice. We're going to use breath through this soothing flow to connect us to our bodies and to allow us to relax. Intentional breath practices, when done in this slow, soothing manner, can really allow us to relax the mind and the body. And so from here, I'll guide us through a pranayama or a short breath practice together. So when you're ready on an exhale, we'll empty the breath all the way out. And we'll take a long, slow inhale, filling up. And a long, slow exhale to empty out. Again, inhale, fill up. And exhale to empty. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. From here, we'll inhale, fill all the way up with breath, and we'll hold the breath in, holding full. And we'll exhale, empty the breath out, and hold empty. Allowing that hold to be just as long as the inhale and the exhale, finding this evenness of our breath. Again, we'll inhale, fill up, and hold. Feeling that low belly pull in as you hold that breath. And we'll exhale to empty out. And we'll hold the breath out. Again, the belly pulls in to keep that hold intact. And we'll take that one more time. Inhale when you fill up. Holding at the top. And exhale to empty, holding at the bottom. Inhale, filling up. Releasing the hold this time, exhale, let it go. Again, inhale to fill up. And exhale to empty. 3 more, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One last time, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, we'll draw the hands together in front of the heart like a prayer, Anjali Mudra. If there's an intention you want to set for your practice or something you'd like to keep in mind, taking a moment to set that intention now. Otherwise, allowing ourselves to simply tap in to this place of ease. Allowing our intention to simply be to find that soothing quality of mind and body as we move through this time together. We'll take a nice big inhalation, filling up. We'll exhale, melt the hands down either side of the body, and we'll come into child's pose, toes together, knees open, and we'll sit the hips back towards the heels. And the goal here of child's pose is to really lengthen out our spine. So we're getting nice and long as we draw the hips back. We're reaching out through the fingertips. Option here, you can be passive in the arms, or if you'd like to stay active, you can draw the shoulder blades in towards each other as you reach out through the fingertips. And from here, drawing length into that spine. Letting the breath stay nice and strong. With our inhale, we'll take the hands over towards the right side. So we're lengthening out here in the left side of the body. As we reach over to the right, we're drawing back through that left hip, and we're lengthening out through that left rib cage. And then with that breath, we'll take it back through center on the inhale, and we'll exhale over to the other side. Again, drawing back through that right hip as we extend out through that right shoulder, right rib cage, drawing nice and long. And then with our next inhalation, coming back to center. We'll exhale nice and long here. And we'll inhale, come forward and up into our tabletop position, knees beneath the hips, wrists beneath the shoulders. And you can start to take some circles around towards the right side if you'd like, sweeping the body around your mat. And then when you're ready, letting those circles float around to the left side. So really using the mat, sweeping around, just connecting breath and body together. And then from here, we'll find that tabletop flat back, engaging Mula Bandha, pelvic floor, and Uddiyana Bandha, low belly, drawing in and up. We'll take cat-cow sequence from here. Inhale, drawing tailbone up towards the sky. Belly stays strong as the shoulders draw back, the chest opens, the gaze rises. On an exhale, we'll round out through the tailbone, tuck the chin in towards the chest as we reach up through the back side of the body. We'll take that 3 more times with your breath. Inhaling as you rise, belly stays strong, protect that low back. And exhale when you round out. Inhale. And exhale. And one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. On the inhale, tabletop flat back. On the exhale, with the toes tucked, we'll lift up and back into a downward dog. And you can pedal out the feet, walk the legs a little bit, maybe shake out the head. Just bring some length into the back side of your legs. Feel that length in the spine as you draw the hips way up towards the sky. Nice. We'll take 3 breaths here. And the goal of downward dog isn't necessarily to have feet flat on the floor or straight legs. Rather, it's to have a long, straight spine. So I'll have Ashley demo that. Ashley will bend the knees a little bit, and as she does, she'll lift the tailbone up towards the sky. She's pressing against the base of her palms to lift the hips up, and we get this really nice, long spine. And the knees bending can help her lengthen out the spine. And then because she has the flexibility in the hamstring, she might begin to draw more length into the legs, maybe reaching heels towards the mat. But you can decide what that is for you that keeps the hips high and the spine long. From here, you can bend the knees and we'll start to walk the feet up towards the hands. We'll come into ragdoll position at the front of our mat. Feet can be open wide, hip distance or further, bending at the knees, grabbing opposite elbow and just sway it out. Shaking the head yes, shaking the head no. Just releasing down towards the mat. You might even take a little bit deeper bend of the knees if you want to rest the belly right down onto the thighs. Beautiful. From here, we'll exhale the hands down towards our mat. If you're not at the front of the mat, take a few steps. We'll come back up towards the front of our mats from here. And then when you're ready, on an exhale, we'll fold in, forward fold. Inhale, we'll lengthen out nice and long, just swaying the spine a little bit. And exhale to fold in. One more time, inhale to lengthen. And exhale to fold. We'll inhale from here, sweeping the arms, come all the way up. We'll reach up and look up towards the sky. Beautiful. Exhale, sweep the arms out wide, and we'll come to standing, Samasthiti. Hands can sweep down. Beautiful. From here, we'll take a half sun salutation. Inhale, the arms can sweep all the way up. And exhale, we'll fold out over the legs. Inhale, lengthening halfway. Exhale, we'll take the right foot, step it back behind us. We'll ground the left knee to the mat, and we're rising up into low lunge. Arms can sweep up overhead. It might feel nice here to bend the elbows and let your chest draw open. And so from here, shoulder blades squeezing together back behind you. Beautiful. We're lifting the chest up towards the sky, gazing up. Belly's pulling in, legs are squeezing in, and your pelvic floor is really strong. Beautiful. With the inhale, we'll reach the fingers back up, straightening the arms. Exhale, hands come down on either side of the front foot, and we'll step that right foot forward to the left. And we'll exhale to take a forward fold. From here, inhale, sweeping the arms, we'll come all the way up, reaching up, maybe looking up. And exhale, we'll take the hands down by the side of the body. And we'll take that again, inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale when you lengthen. Exhale this time, left foot steps back, right knee bends, and we take that left knee down to the mat. So we're rising up here, low lunge on the right side. Beautiful, belly pulling in. Again, option here to exhale, bend the elbows, squeeze the shoulder blades together, peel that chest open. Nice. So we're getting this nice long line here right across the chest as we draw back through the shoulders. And you'll notice the shoulders aren't drawing up to the ears, they're staying nice and low. Beautiful. On the inhale, we'll lengthen those arms back up towards the sky. Exhale, hands down onto either side of the front foot. We'll step the left foot up to meet the right, and exhale to fold. Taking ragdoll position again, shaking out the head, wiggling out. You might even wiggle the hips back behind you a little bit, loosen up that low back. And we're going to take one more round of this half sun salutation. So as you're ready, hands come back down towards the mat. We'll inhale, start to sweep all the way up towards standing. Beautiful, and exhale, we'll draw the hands down. Inhale, sweeping up. And exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale, right foot steps back. Right knee comes down to the mat, belly pulls in, we'll sweep the arms up. You can stay with that bent elbow, or as you'd like, the arms might stay up, reaching the chest up, gazing up. Big, strong belly here, legs hugging in. Beautiful. With the exhale, hands come down, right foot steps up to meet the left, and exhale when you fold. Inhale, sweep the arms, reaching them wide, come all the way up. And exhale, we'll draw back down. Again, inhale, sweep the arms, moving towards that left side. Exhale when you fold. Inhale, lengthen, breath-linked movement. Exhale, left foot comes back, left knee to the mat, belly pulling in, legs squeeze together, arms sweep up. That chest is open whether the elbows are bent or not, and we're reaching it up towards the sky, belly pulling in. We're protecting the low back as we drive that left hip forward. Taking a big inhale breath here, a nice big exhale. Inhale. Exhale, hands come down either side of the front foot, left foot steps forward to meet the right, and exhale when you fold. And from here, maybe taking that ragdoll again, just relaxing, letting it go. Beautiful. From here, we'll plant the hands and make our way back towards downward dog, just for a moment. Beautiful. From here, we'll take the right leg up towards the sky, three-legged dog. Option to bend your knee and let that hip fall open. We're going to come into pigeon pose from here, gliding that right knee forward. We'll place the right shin down onto the mat, back behind the wrist. Your right foot and toes can flex. That will help protect the knee. And there's the option here, Ashley will show us, to support yourself a little bit by sliding a prop, a block, a blanket, a pillow underneath that right hip so that we don't have to come all the way down. We can keep that knee a bit safe. If you have the flexibility like Louisa is doing, you can bring that right hip all the way down onto the mat. Wherever you are, that left foot inches back, and then when you're ready, we'll start to fold down, maybe working our way down onto the forearms. And if that feels like too much, you can always stay lifted, belly pulling in to protect the low back. And if it feels like you want to go further, you're more than welcome to bring the forehead down onto the floor, really relaxing it all the way down. And we'll just find that nice deep breath. And here, if you start to feel tension in that right knee, you can bend a little bit deeper through the right ankle, the right foot really flexing, the toes flexing. If you don't notice that tension so much, you can really release that foot and relax into the posture. Wherever you are, you should feel a stretch on the outside of that right hip into the IT band, the outer side of that right leg. And just letting the awareness come back into the breath. We can use our breath here to manipulate the stretch that we're feeling. The inhalation can draw length, so imagining that you're lengthening that tension with the inhale. In the exhale, imagining that we're softening. We're letting go of the tension in that hip. We'll take about 3 to 5 more rounds of breath here. And then as you're ready, we'll plant the hands and we'll walk them underneath the shoulders. We're going to tuck those back toes under. And from here, we're going to engage the back leg to lift the knee up off the mat. And then from here, that front shin starts to hug up towards the chest, up towards the belly. You might even be able to float it up off the mat for a moment. And then we'll rise it up and back, three-legged dog. An option here to release however feels best. You can bend the knee, let the hip fall open. If you're a fan of wild thing pose, you can flip your down dog over, reaching hips to sky, or just circling out that hip a little bit. Seeing what feels best, taking a moment here to be in your body, letting this practice be about you, not about me, finding what feels best for you. And then as you're ready, we'll meet back together towards downward dog. And from there, the left leg will extend on an inhale. The knee can bend, the hip can fall open. And then from here, we'll start to come forward into pigeon on the left side. And just notice that the first side might be different than the second side. So you might not be able to get that hip as close to the ground. You might need more of a prop. You might be able to come further down, or maybe there's more tension in that knee. Just notice what's taking place. Then as you feel comfortable, you can lower yourself down towards the forearms or maybe the forehead towards the mat. And again, use the breath here as a tool to bring that sense of ease into the body, into this stretch. The inhalation drawing length into that tightness, and the exhalation softening, releasing the tension. Again, that stretch on the outer side of that left hip down into the outside edge of that left leg. And we'll take a few rounds of breath here, just holding our posture. And then as you're ready, we'll plant the hands, walking them back in underneath the shoulders. From here, the right toes tuck under. We engage that right leg to lift the knee up off the mat. Squeezing up and in with the low belly, we start to rise the left shin in towards the chest, and we extend it up and back into our three-legged dog. And then from here again, finding those intuitive movements. How do you want to release that posture? What would feel best? Maybe you take it over, flipping down dog, upside down wild thing, pressing hips to sky, or maybe circling out that hip. And then when you're ready, eventually we'll all meet back together in our downward dog. And from downward dog, we're gonna start to lower all the way forward towards the top of a push-up, and then all the way down onto our bellies. You can lower through a push-up or drop the knees first and then the chest. Eventually all the way on our bellies, toes lengthen out long, tops of feet press into the mat. So the toenails are pressing towards the floor. From there, the belly button pulls in, so we're pulling in and up. We're gonna squeeze the shoulder blades together on the back of our body. It's like a rubber band is pulling the elbows together. And then from here, inhale to peel the head and the chest up off the floor. So your belly's really strong here, protecting your low back, feet pressed down, and we're just broadening across the chest, lifting here. And what I'm not doing is pulling Ashley up off the floor any further, just energetically reminding that openness in the chest, drawing back of the shoulders. And then we'll exhale to come down. And we're gonna turn this into a mini flow, really working the elbows in. And then from here, belly pulls in, press to the tops of the feet, inhale, rise the head and chest up. And exhale to let it fall back down. We'll take 3 more with your breath. Inhale when you rise it up. And exhale when you come back down. 2 more. One last time. Beautiful. Exhale when you come down, and from here we can tuck the toes under. We'll come up and back into child's pose. That same pose from the start of practice, lengthening out the spine. So child's pose with the knees open will bring that stretch further into the hips, but if that's uncomfortable in your body, you can walk the knees together. And from here, just drawing length into the spine. Hips pressing back towards the heels, whether or not they touch, and drawing the rib cage down towards the thighs. And then when you're ready from here, you can just let the legs tip off to one side. We're gonna come through into a seated position. We'll sit in the shape of an L, so the legs are out long. We'll take a seated forward fold. And again, if it's too much to sit straight onto the mat, you can always place a blanket underneath the hips. From here, we'll inhale, sweep the arms up, so we're reaching up out of the hips. Then exhale to dive the chest out over the legs, and the hands can come down wherever you'd like. Maybe they reach the sides of the feet, or maybe they're on the floor or on the shins. And you always have the option here to take a little bend to your knees. We're gonna reach the chest forward and then tuck the chin to look down. And you might be able to lower the chest towards the thighs, but that's not important. Just making your way into that long stretch on the back of the legs and onto the back side of the body. And you can release the weight of the head, let the chin tuck, look down. You hold your head up all day long, so take a moment here, let it go. And so traditionally we have really flexed feet, really flexed toes. If that feels good for you, you can hold on to that. But being that our practice here, the intention behind it is to find that sense of ease and relaxation, you might begin to release that flex of the foot. We'll take 2 more nice deep breaths here. And then on our next inhale, we'll start to make our way all the way back up. And we'll exhale as the shoulders come to stack up above the hips. Coming into Baddha Konasana, soles of feet together, knees open wide, that butterfly posture. The thumbs can slide in between the feet, fingers wrap around the feet, and then from here, we just start to fold the chest down towards the legs, down towards the feet. And so your knees don't have to press all the way to the floor. That's not necessarily the goal here. We want to find a stretch through the hips, through the low back, as we find that fold down towards the feet. And again, you can hold long, straight spine, or if it feels more comfortable, more relaxing, you're welcome to tuck the chin, which will round out the back a little bit, but help you release the weight of the head. Nice. And so this posture here is combining a forward fold with the hip opening stretch. So our hips tend to rotate back just a little bit as we fold over the top of them. And so just noticing the subtleties in the body, being really careful of the knee because of this rotation, hips back as we fold forward. With our next inhale, we'll start to rise up out of this posture, coming back towards that seated position, shoulders stacked above the hips. We'll draw the knees together, soles of feet to the mat. We'll scoot up towards the front of our mat, and we'll roll this down onto our backs. So using the belly, keep the belly drawn in, the arms can lengthen, and we'll start to roll all the way down till head and shoulders reach the mat. And so as we come in to this posture, we'll hug the knees in towards our chest. Giving ourselves a really big squeeze here. You can roll in small circles, just massaging out that low back. And then we'll come into some nice relaxing floor postures here to really ground down before we find Shavasana, our final rest pose. So from here, we're going to bring the knees over to the right side, coming into our supine twist. The arms can open wide like a T, or they can bend at the elbows. So we're working the knees, the legs in one direction as we open the chest in the other. Then we'll inhale to draw those legs back up to center, and we'll exhale them over to the other side. And again, we'll bring those knees back to center using the strength of the belly. We'll come into what's called happy baby pose. We're going to bring the soles of the feet up towards the sky, bending at the knees. We can grab onto big toes or the outer edges of the feet and start to draw the thighs down towards the mat. And so as we do this here, you might hold still, or you might rock back and forth to massage that low back. And just staying with that breath, the eyes can close if you'd like, and just coming into that soothing posture here on the mat. And then when you're ready, we'll start to draw the knees back together. We're going to reach the feet up towards the sky. And if you have a block or prop with you, rather than having to hold the weight of the legs all the way up by themselves, you might actually come into a supported variation. Together, we'll bend at the knees and drop the feet back down towards the floor. With our blocks nearby, we're going to press up and lift the hips off the mat and slide that block or prop underneath our low back, coming into a supported bridge variation. And you can hold here for a few breaths, just getting that low back to release onto that prop. And then as you're ready, using the strength of the belly, you might float the right foot up off the floor. Maybe float the left foot. And the hips stack up on top of that block as we come into that legs up variation. Just a very gentle inversion as we start to wind down this practice. Hands can stay down onto either side of the body. The eyes can close. Just really letting the flow drain down from the feet, grounding us down. Using this time to connect to your breath, finding that long, slow inhale, long, slow exhale. We'll take about 5 rounds of breath here. And then as you're ready, gently bending at the knees, placing the feet back down onto the floor. Pressing into the soles of the feet, we'll lift the hips up to slide the block off to the side. From here, hugging the knees back into the chest, a nice big squeeze. And then one final posture before Shavasana, we'll come into Supta Baddha Konasana. We took this pose seated, and now we'll come into it lying down. Soles of feet together, knees open wide. Hands can be off to the side of the body, palms face up. Or if you want to deepen that connection to your body, deepen that self-connection, you might bring hands onto the belly, or one hand to belly, one hand to chest, and just allow yourself to feel the breath. Feeling the inhale, feeling the exhale. Finding this connection to your body. And we'll hold here a few rounds of breath before coming into Shavasana, our final resting pose. you can choose to hold this posture for Shavasana as your final resting pose, or beginning to draw the knees back together. You might find a counter pose here, walking the feet out wide and then letting the knees tip in. And as you'd like, coming into Shavasana, that comfortable resting posture. Traditionally, Shavasana is taken lying flat on our backs, arms at the sides, palms facing up, but you can take any comfortable pose here as your final posture. The goal of Shavasana is to allow us to release and to relax, to soak in the benefits of the practice that we just had, so that we can feel them in the body. So when we wake back up, we're moving out into the world, into our day, with a new sense of mind and body and soul. So we're moving out with this new experience from the practice that we've just had. So hopefully this soothing flow has allowed you to come into this place of ease in the mind and body. So when you wake back up from Shavasana, you can go out with that energy, that soothing, relaxing energy, bringing that out into the rest of your day. And so we'll hold here for a few minutes. I'll guide us through by using a chant that gives us something to focus on as we move through our Shavasana meditation. And you're more than welcome to hold it for longer than we will for this practice by simply hitting pause and holding as long as you'd like, or you can stay with us and wake back up as we get there together. Letting that awareness come back into your breath, connecting to the breath and to the body, and gently falling into that place of ease and relaxation. Om Mekarantaya Vinmahe Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tano Dante Prachodeyata 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 Om Shanti 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 Gently beginning to deepen the breath, allowing movements to come back into the fingers, into the toes, and the wrists and the ankles. beginning to wake the body back up, however feels best. And in time, with the eyes closed, we can find our way back into a comfortable seated position. And as we find that seat, we'll bring the hands together in front of the heart like a prayer. This is Anjali Mudra. And taking a moment here just to notice how you feel in the body, in the mind, in the heart, in the soul. And noticing perhaps how you felt when you arrived into this practice. What was your state in that moment? And notice, what is your state in this moment? How do you feel? And notice the space in between. Recognizing how this practice transformed the way that we felt in our minds, in our bodies. Allowing ourselves to notice the importance of taking time to slow down, to find that place of gentle relaxation, to soothe the mind and the body. Recognizing that when we feel good, we're better able to help those around us feel good too. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you so much for practicing. Namaste.